I'd like to call Ellis County Commission meeting to order, please. Can we all stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to thank everyone for coming, all four. Bobby, if you could go roll, please.
Commissioner Nathan Liker.
Here.
Chair Neil Younger.
Here.
Commissioner Michael Burgess.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, the order of business will say the same. Commissioner, do you have a chance to look at the minutes?
Prior minutes look fine.
Okay. And the consent agenda?
I'll move to approve consent agenda items A through G.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Okay, I don't think anybody unless, nope, okay. All right, the introduction of new employees, Jennifer?
Good morning, Jennifer Taylor, Ellis County HR, and I have one department head here today to introduce his new employee from Public Works.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brendan
Morning.
McKay, Ellis County Public Works Director. So before you is Isaac Cook. He's one of our new hires out there. He previously worked for Douglas County, so we're happy to have him out here. You can see a little bit how things are done differently from one side of the state to the other side. Or they have all the rock and we have less rock. More yellowish
Rock.
butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we keep doing this every meeting, we're gonna have a full staff here before long.
I am full staff.
No more full staff.
Yeah.
Catch
Right.
up. Yeah.
Well, welcome
Okay,
aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you guys. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, reorganization, discussion, Darren?
Good morning, Commissioners. Darren Myers, County Administrator. Before you this morning is just a discussion to have in regards to the next meeting with the County Commissioners in regards to the reorganization of the County Commission itself, and then moving on into all of the appointed department heads, the different committees, aging councils, care councils, fire chiefs, and local emergency planning committee members. Before you is several pages worth of all of those appointments, as well as I guess also one of the longer items there is the meetings for 2024 as well. So before all the appointments are made next week by your commission, I just wanted to get this all out to you to make sure that you didn't have any questions, concerns, or wanting us to reach out to anybody differently in regards to those appointments that you would like to make for next week.
Okay.
Commissioners, anything?
We'll look through it and be ready for next week. As thus far, I see no problems.
Yeah, I don't.
Mr. Burgess, nothing? I have nothing.
The LEPC local or the local emergency planning committee, Lyle just sent me the new members for that, the updated, so that'll be a little bit different than what you see, but I'll get that out to you in an email before then.
Okay.
And then last week, at the end of the week, I believe I also heard from the Fair Board. They have, I believe, one new member on their board, so I'll get that sent out as well. And then we're still working on the Aging Council and the Care Council to make sure that those members still want to be reappointed by the commission as well. Hopefully by by this week, we'll have that answer for you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Going through the meeting times, the kind of regular meeting times as presented here. Do we currently have any public building commission items on our agenda?
I will have a meeting next week after you reorganize the county commission, then you'll also do the same, the president of the PBC. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, the commission made the decision to fund paying off all the bonds early for the PBC in 2024. So we'll probably have next week's, and then The next one would be in April, and we'll probably have all those paid off by then, so that might be the following PBC meeting that we'd actually have, and then I'd visit with Mr. Jeter to see if those would need to continue or not, since there's no projects, no funding, no bills left within the Public Building Commission. It'd be kind of pointless to have a meeting, but I'll make sure Mr. Jeter and I confer to make sure we
Do it
close that
properly.
out proper.
Okay, sounds good, thank you.
Anything yet, Darren, on as far as contract for out at the racetrack? Are we still working on that, or are we?
I got it about 90% done.
Okay.
Brendan and I, well, he left already. Right before Christmas, we went out there and looked at the entrance for the, maybe possibly moving the entrance over for a separate entrance for the Speedway. That way it would free up the entire parking lot for the Shank and the Unrein buildings. And the lease operator was out there, Chris was out there, and we visited with him and showed him how we'd move a culvert, make the entrance, and widen the road out, or the, it's currently like a one-lane road that goes to the, on the west side of it, down by the rodeo
Okay.
arena.
Yep.
Make that a little bit better of an improved road and have that entrance to the RPM from the west side and not through the parking lot where all the rentals are happening for the Shank and Unrein building. And Brendan was okay with it. It seemed like Chris would, but we just need to make sure that him as the operator and as the leasee would be okay with all that. And he was going to look at it, consider it, and make sure everything is going to be okay before we started moving forward with anything. But I did visit with him about the lease. I got it. I've been carrying it around for about 2 months. Just need to get it done and sent to him for review. And then once we have something as a general understanding, get it to Mr. Jeter for approval and then back to you.
Okay.
Probably by the 1st of February. So that way it can be completed before the race season starts again in March or April.
All right. Okay, thank you. Okay, Purple Wave auction, Darren?
As you can see, the list, the last page on your agenda, excuse me, has a list of about a page of different items that the county department heads and elected officials have that they would like to list on Purple Wave. It's been common practice that before we sell anything on the Purple Wave auction site that the commission gives approval. Most of the items that are on the agenda are vehicles that have been replaced through the fleet management system. However, there are a couple other items on there that are not vehicles. Some medical supplies from EMS, some old desks from the appraiser's office. The commission asked that we looked into those V-plows for the front of the graders. They did inventory those, and we do have a couple extra that we can release there. And then the scraper that we had out at solid waste to sell that one when we bought, that's a 613. We bought a 623 a couple years ago to build, not build, but dig out the new construction demolition pit. So now that that project is done, we could sell the other one and move on from that. But we'd just like to have your approval of these items, and we contact Purple Wave, and probably within 2-3 weeks they'd be listed, and they would be on Purple Wave for about a month. And then at the end of the auction site, the successful bidders or winners of the items would have a month to pay and pick it up. And that's about our time frame for how that process would work.
Are all, excuse me, are all these vehicles that are listed, they've all been replaced through our fleet program?
Minus the ambulance, that's not on there, of course.
Right.
But all the other ones, yes. Some of them have been replaced for a while now, and they've just been sitting, or they've just been used, like the Ford Focus. I wouldn't say we necessarily need a pool car for people to be able to use. I know the fire district uses it to send firefighters out of county for schools. A couple different conferences between the clerks, IT, the treasury. That gets used a little bit here and there, I guess, not a whole lot, but that did get replaced with a Traverse.
Reverse, I think,
Yeah. So they share it all now to make bank runs and use it to go to conferences and such. But all the other ones basically, yes, have been replaced.
Okay.
Where's the funding go? So if you sell something, the appraiser's vehicles, do they get credit back to their
So when we,
alter?
all the vehicles that get sold that are part of the fleet management program, there's two different line items, one for revenue, one for expense within Department 97. So all the lease payments are paid out of Department 97, but also all the revenue. That way it's basically, in one department, you can see exactly where the revenues are from selling vehicles to the expenses are of paying for the vehicles. And they're all within Department 97. And that also goes into account. We're finally going to start getting into the point of where we're going to have more enterprise vehicles turned in and sold. So that will start increasing it quite a bit. I believe the appraiser's office just had one that got traded in, maybe Public Works as well. Mike's vehicle was the first one in IT. And if I remember, on that vehicle, we made throughout the year between what it sold for and what we paid for lease about $1,200, $1,700, something like that. So it's been working out very well.
Okay. On the scraper from solid waste, with our increased public works work plan, road plan, is that something that we need to watch to where we don't sell a piece and then have to go repurchase it?
Keep looking back there like
I know,
Brendan's still here, but
he left
he's usually
early.
here. I can double check with him and make sure. We do have, so this is 1613 that's always been at the landfill. It's never hardly been used out on the roads, and they replaced it with a 623, a lot larger. And Public Works also has a 623 and another 613.
Okay.
So we currently have 4. I don't know if we would need 4 because we've always had 3 until we expanded the landfill.
Right.
If the commission would like us to hold on to it and keep it with Public Works.
Well, and maybe it's not one that needs to be kept. I mean, I'm just, if we have one that would be better to keep than one or the
One or
other.
the other.
Yeah, or to make sure that we don't sell something, a good usable piece, and then have to go put major repairs into something else.
So keep the better of the 2 613s.
That would be my suggestion.
I'll visit with Brendan and Caleb, shop foreman, and make sure that is the case.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to assume that this one here would probably be the better of the two to disperse with, but just make sure that we're not overlooking something.
Yep. I will double check.
So what you're saying is we can have way too many backups is what, and
Well,
it's just
we
sitting
can-
there not being used.
Right. I mean, and I have no problem getting rid of a backup, but I don't
No.
want to get rid of
The better.
the
Yeah.
better piece.
Yep.
We just sunk a bunch of money into all of our other equipment at the end of the year, so
Yeah.
I don't want to turn around and start off doing it again.
Understandable. I'll double check with Justin, Environmental, and Brendan, make sure we are selling off keeping the better of the 2.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that the year that's the cat scraper that you're talking about?
Yeah, the CAT 613.
On a motion, do you want to approve the list except for that and then wait to, or can we make the motion to accept all items and then pull that out if we decide not to?
The better of the
Let's
4.
have a motion to keep the better of the 2 scrapers. I think would be okay.
Yeah.
The other item on here, just because I scrolled down to the list, is juvenile services. Those vehicles are not ours. They have a Chevy Cruze and a Ford Fusion. They just asked to be a part of our auction when we do list it. So those aren't county vehicles. Those are state vehicles, but they're just going to list them on ours as well.
Okay.
Okay.
The EMS equipment, that's not the ambulance. All is that extra stuff, out of date stuff? How is that?
Through the code, so I know of a couple different items. The vents and we replaced those with newer ones with some of the COVID money that we had received that were eligible medical expenses. The pagers that they have are minute or 5s, and they're on 6s now, but they also don't all carry pagers off duty anymore. They only carry them on duty, so that's why they're getting rid of those there. The King Vision laryngoscopes, I believe they have newer versions of those as well that they have purchased. So this is just kind of equipment that they don't use anymore.
Okay.
And the miscellaneous radio equipment, I'll go through that make sure that with the upgrades that are coming with the radio programming later this year, that we don't get rid of anything there that can't be used either in the backup dispatch center or through the installation of the new equipment that's getting installed.
Okay.
I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but maybe we ought to hold off until next meeting on this and maybe have EMS come in and explain to us what each one of those are, so everybody has good clarification of all that. That's just my opinion on it. Public Works, same thing. Sheriff, they can just tell us a little bit about it, is my suggestion. I don't know what the other two commissioners think, but
I wouldn't mind on the EMS side of it, hearing from Danita if, what she's heard timeline-wise on our new ambulance, on our new bus coming in. So I know that we're waiting to hear her response, but that'd be, I guess that would fall in line with Commissioner Younger's suggestion.
like I say, we know the appraiser, you know, the file drawer cabinets and that, but like I say, some of the other stuff I'm kind of curious on too, just for my own.
So mainly it would be EMS because they have items other than a vehicle.
Yep.
And then Public Works, just those two V-plows, but you
Right.
know what those are.
We know what
the
those are.
extras.
Yep.
Well, and we would be able to hear from Public Works which scraper would be the better of the two to disperse of.
That would give him,
And we could make that motion all at once with no
Right.
exclusions.
that would give him time and his staff to visit about which one they're gonna keep.
Shall do. We can push
Yeah,
it off 1
works.
week and have them come.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that. We'll table that.
Yep. Okay, County Administrator report.
I have nothing.
Okay,
Happy New Year.
same to you. County Commission report?
At this time, I have nothing. I'll have something in the future to
Okay.
discuss with you gentlemen, so.
Understand. Commissioner Burgess?
Nope, Happy New Year to everybody.
Same to you. Just going through the AP report, you know, there was 130 people that were out again for volunteers, you know, especially during the holidays. That means a lot. And also to all of our staff for the good job they've done in 23, and we're moving forward to 24, so I'm sure there's going to be some more good discussion and stuff going on in the community. And also, I hope I'm saying this right, but Tate Englegood for Public Works, wish him a happy birthday today, and that's all I have. So, and no executive sessions, so meeting adjourned at 8:48.
Oh, that was quick.
That was quick.
Got out of bed early today for 18 minutes. I got out of bed early for 18 minutes.
So the other ambulance is scheduled to final production on April 1st, and then scheduled to delivery by the beginning of May. The other ambulance that's on the Purple Wave is